and the ancestors are looking out for us. God Hayes is exposing them, man.
Okay, you see that chair right there? See how big it is?
Yeah.
Now look at the Pope chair under it. Scroll down, look at the Pope chair under it.
Never have it been made so clear.
Young TV. Young.
We running the game right now.
Young TV.
Time to take over.
Young
We the hottest in the game. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you just not tuned in.
TV.
Share, like on your Instagram, Facebook.
Young TV.
If you tuned in, we broadcasting live from 2030, baby.
Young TV. Young
Taking over the game, baby. Oh yeah.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Young TV.
Get them likes up in the air, you heard me?
Young TV.
Ride by. Hotel Islam.
Young TV.
Assalamu alaikum. Flown lesson.
Young TV.
I'm inviting in. Hey, I like them dreads.
You hear me?
I can hear you now. You ain't walking around with no mask on, is you?
I said, I'm over here in this plant, bro. I work at GM. I'm in Michigan with you, man.
Is you? What
Yeah,
plant you
bro.
work at?
You said what?
What plant you work at?
I'm in the can plant. I don't want to say too much, but
Okay,
on the
well, let me
location.
do it like this. What's your local?
Hey, I'm representing the Vice Lords, bro. I'm here to say free Larry Hoover, man. That's what I got to say. And look, my question is this, bro. So a nigga who been on the feds list since I was 17, and I'm seeing what's going on in the world. You got people setting themselves on fire for Trump and shit, man. And if they don't elect them, this bitch going up, right? You know,
This,
as we move
I
towards the
don't think we're gonna
matriarch,
have. I don't think we're
as we
gonna
move,
have no elections.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. As we move towards the matriarch, it look like Joe Biden gonna die, Kamala gonna become president, and you know what I'm saying. But for that to happen, like I'm saying, like what's really gonna happen, like, cause they gonna come get us first. So, you know, if it's martial law, the National Guard coming in or whatever, you feel me?
They coming.
They coming for sure. That's what
They
I'm.
they are
You know,
already been assigned regiments to inner cities across the country. Some people they had them in the subways a couple months ago in New York.
yeah,
So in
yeah,
certain places they come. It's part of the continuity of government and the transfer of power from the corporation to the people.
right,
That's what the whole. So for those who don't know, when Biden had a colonoscopy in 2021,
yeah,
he had to go through a doctor's examination, and Kamala Harris was assigned the presidency. Well, once he come from under anesthesia, he had to do what they call a psychological panel. And the psychological panel would have revealed that he has Alzheimer's and dementia,
I can see
right?
that. You see that clear as day. He crazy. Yeah,
Look, that's all the act.
yeah,
But for the receipts, his son, it's an article I posted on my Facebook where his son was talking about them making fun of him in the Senate and the Congress for having dementia,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Not the one that they got the computer from, another one of his sons. Anyway, that's so that they already got a built-in excuse to seek Kamala Harris as the president
Right. They had
because
it on The Simpsons, man. The Simpsons is really them motherfucking psychics, bro. They on some next level shit with that shit, but
look, the Simpsons is revealed through a playbook. It's a CIA operation. All of that stuff that look like prophecy, that's not prophecy. Those are plans.
yeah.
They got to
I,
tell you what they doing to you, and they can put it in any format that they want to put it in to keep you from figuring it out.
yeah. They putting this shit right in our faces. That's why it's crazy because I'm just like, this gonna be the year where everything gonna come out, everything by the show. And you know, it's April 1st, really the new year. So it really just started going off the fake ass calendar they gave us. But this shit, you know, this shit getting real, man. I feel like that eclipse changed a lot of shit too. Like the energy been different. Everybody connecting back with nature. Everybody on they path, and it like it's showing on the planet. Like this shit showing. You can feel this shit when you walking around, and it's like, man, like I say, I'm in this plant. I just walked off. I don't give a fuck about this job, man. I came to talk to Chief Pontiac, man. Fuck, like, you feel me? On
For
Vice
sure, for
Lord,
sure.
man. This shit, I don't give a half for real, for real.
Hey,
But
look,
I'm getting double time in this bitch, so I might as well, you know.
y'all still got 5 chiefs on the street.
Oh yeah. Willie. I know his nephew, man. Willie has happy transcendence. They said he transcended. He was sitting in the hospital for damn years in a coma. I
He
don't know.
wasn't in the coma, he was paralyzed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like all fucked up. He's sitting in that bitch for a minute. Feel me? His nephew got stabbed 9 times in the head. He's still good. That nigga, he was in the jails. But
I met
yeah,
Willie in the county when he got out of prison the first time, and
yeah,
then they violated him and they put him in ABO.
right.
I was in Division 1A1 and he was in ABO downstairs. Their visits had to take place on the rock I was on. So
Yeah.
Vice Lord named he was a 4-star elite named Lil J. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Lil J introduced me to Willie Lord, and the day room was shook because like I'm folks.
They was in that bitch tweaking like,
Yeah,
damn, you can't just approach the
so
chief
they
like
like what
that. You gotta,
they like what the fuck, what kind of fuckery you on? Right.
yeah,
So but he had told me before he came up here, he said, man, I need you to meet my chief when he come up, man.
yeah.
And he said, you ain't got no problem with it. I was like, I ain't got no problem with meeting your
Hey,
chief.
you
I
know
didn't
that
know
ain't
he
my
was
chief though.
talking
I
about
go off
Willie
the teachings
Lord.
of Bobby Gore though. We going off the teachings of Bobby, but I fuck with Willie though. But you know this shit happened. That shit happened. He violated. Feel me? But a lot of shit happened. But we ain't gonna talk nation business on here. But this shit, man. I just want to say, free Larry, free Jeff, man. They really best friends. They ain't want to make that 7 point stop, bro. We was gonna take this bitch over. We was gonna
I,
take this bitch over for
hey,
real.
look, you know, Larry flipped from Main 21
Yes,
to
sir.
Disciple.
Yes, sir. He was a stone. We know. We know.
Right. He was the ambassador of the Stone.
Yes, sir.
And that's where the cold brick, this
Yes,
is where the
sir.
cold brick term
That's
comes from.
why
That's the
eight
Scorpio.
20 mo. Yeah, we know. We know the lingo, man. We know the lingo. Hey,
Yeah.
we coming together
It
though,
was
man. Free them
21,
chiefs.
but it's 20 more because one flip.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You the chief of the land right now. I'm in Michigan, bro. It'll be an honor to meet you, broski. I swear to God, that shit, man. Keep leading the people, man. You the voice, right? Today free. I feel like you the voice of this shit,
Well,
man. Chief Pontiac.
I ain't gonna shut up till we see him. So
Yeah. I'm gonna get back on this flow though, bro. Appreciate your time, man.
all the
Mighty.
time, man,
Yep.
stay up.
Yep.
I love it when the other tribes show love like that because a lot of the tribes be speaking up for they chief, and they get offended because they figure you ain't from their tribe, you shouldn't be speaking up. But I feel like you should speak up for what's right just because it's right. Brianna, come on up here, girl. Let's see what you're talking about. No. Um, yeah, Bobby Gore is, he the one of the main organizers of vice lords. Yeah. They got 5 chiefs, 5 kings on the street, and they bought. What's going on, Brianna? I can't see you. Can you hear me? So I'm gonna have to try to get her back in because they blocked her. Mhm. Yeah, I tried to let the sister in, but they blocked her out.
Yeah, shit. If you want to put her in, regardless, fine, do what you gotta do. But yeah, I just had a few questions though. Peace to the
Peace,
gods.
God, peace, God. Come on with your questions. I tried to let her in Instagram on some other stuff. They only let in who they want in, I guess.
Yeah, you know how they be with that funny, man. Yeah, man. So what's going on, OG Rod? What's going on, man? What's going on in the world right now?
The takeover. We on the move to take this motherfucker back.
Yeah.
And it don't look like people think it should look, because they think we need to be in the streets doing a whole bunch of military shit and starting all kind of drama. But no. The brain banging is different than gang banging.
Yeah.
Right? So the challenge was that none of us was going to figure the problem out.
Right.
I figured the problem out. So I came and told the people.
So would you call it a great awakening right now for sure?
Yeah, it's in the process right now. You know, we passed the event horizon now. We beyond the point of no return.
Okay.
Ain't no going back from where we done came.
Right.
And it's just a matter of time before we have the massive breakthrough. One of the things I had to look at was the situation with Malachi, because I already knew that they had fabricated paperwork in his case to say that he had herpes and chlamydia. But when I looked at his doctor records from all the way leading up to the time of the crime, all his doctor visits, he was going almost a couple times a year just for standard checks. And he do a STD screen on him ever since the 70s. So then they produced this document in the courts, but when he get to prison, they still tested him for STDs, and he have no traces of herpes or chlamydia because you have antibodies. That's what they test for when they test for a disease. And it's not possible for him to only have the diseases long enough to violate some children and then miraculously get rid of something that you say can't be gotten rid of.
So something ain't adding up now.
Right. So when I was looking at that, then I started looking at, okay, what's really going on here? Then I find out about the plot and meetings that was held with Sheriff Seals with one of Malachi's sons, and how this same son was instrumental in organizing the girls for the false allegations. The irony to that is they was all his ex-girlfriends and girlfriends.
So how they orchestrate that? Would they put the payola on them, or they just would they threaten the son to put him in or something, or how they orchestrate that, get the son to turn against him?
His son was he named his son Jacob, so he knew something was up.
Okay.
At birth.
Okay.
At birth, he knows something up. Now, his son fell out with Malachi because Malachi wouldn't finance a Lil' Kim video. He said that Lil' Kim public persona and character go against what I teach.
Right.
So I can't put my money behind that.
Right.
And the son already blamed Malachi for his mother's death. I don't know how she died, but he feel like some kind of way Malachi was responsible.
Okay.
So he already um um got an issue with his father, and now
Exactly.
it all blew up when he wouldn't finance the Lil' Kim video, and that's when he orchestrated the sex allegations. Now, this is how it all come out about how he orchestrated it. The FBI had offered all of the witnesses um, gratuities or compensation in some form or another for their testimony.
Yeah.
Some of them, they promised money. Some of them, they promised like music careers, acting
Okay.
careers,
Okay.
putting them all on easy
Okay.
street. Once,
Okay.
once he was convicted, they didn't honor none of the stuff they told the people.
Made a deal with the devil. You know how that goes.
Right. So what ended up happening is they say if you don't pay up, we're gonna tell everybody about the whole plot. So they told him, go and tell him they ain't gonna believe you now. We got him in our media grip. So
Okay.
they came out with a recant and told them what the government told them they was gonna give them and how they reneged on the deals. And the only one that seemed to have gotten compensation from the government, from my understanding, was the son who orchestrated it all.
Okay.
Right. Now, once Malachi get took off the scene, all of the other dirty players start being activated.
Mm.
They start forging his signatures on documents to steal what was his. They start mass printing his books, but they was only selling them through certain bookstores so that they could capitalize on the return on his intellectual property. So all the time he been in there fighting for his life, they been out here living high off the hog off his work.
Right. Right. That's
But
foul.
we ain't supposed to say nothing because that's not my tribe. Bullshit.
Right.
I'm saying something.
Right. Right. Ain't gonna let that brother go down like that.
Right.
After all the work he put in and all the know what I
Look.
mean, all the rightful knowledge he done put out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it go back to what he said about Mandela in one of the scrolls that came out in the 90s. He said, they asked me, why did Mandela stay in prison 27 years? He said, because Mandela people let him stay in prison 27 years. But everybody think that means that you have to get up, go get your gun, go down there and get him out. That's not what it means. Your people can block you from getting relief from the sources that can get you the relief when they don't mean you no earthly good.
Mm.
Don't nobody want Malachi blood on their hands.
Right. Nah, that's what it seemed like right now because they put them vicious charges on it to make it, you know what I mean? But, I mean, it's common sense if you just,
Well,
if you got common sense, all you got to do is use it. But don't nobody want to jump out there, though.
you got to remember why they use sex cases. The allegation is the key evidence. Physical evidence is rare in a lot of the sex cases.
Okay.
Mostly it's just that somebody said something.
Okay.
A lot of guys is doing prison terms because the woman felt like the sex wasn't good enough, so she cried rape.
Mm.
Or he ain't called her the next morning. That's what happened to Mike Tyson. When you go back and listen to the girl, she said she didn't get mad until the next morning when he ain't called her. He acted like she
in her feelings in so many words.
Right. So in the sex case, they got this judge named Judge Bornstein. He been a family court judge for 40 years. And he came out with a long report about how children was influenced to falsely accuse adults when the adult that's sending them want to get rid of the other adult. Right? And that case opened my eyes. Then you got something called the McMartin trial. Right? In the McMartin trial, they had these children saying that the McMartins was doing all this foul stuff to them and sodomized them with butcher knives and all kind of stuff, but they don't have no physical signs of trauma.
Wow.
and they played it in the news. The whole thing. They beat the case, but guess what happened? They was ruined.
Still had the not the allegations, but still had that on they, you know what I mean, right on them. Okay.
Yeah.
Because they know the public gonna look at that crazy, which
Yeah.
is understandable if it's true, but they don't understand how these people work in the background though.
Yeah. But they show you. They always give you a frame of reference where you can look at any situation. Like Bill Cosby,
Yeah.
when they say he was drugging them girls, we looking at it from a different cultural perspective, because in the days that Bill Cosby was accused of that, they would give women Quaaludes to trick with them.
Right, and then look, OG, then at the same time, on top of what you saying, from my understanding and what I seen, like he was putting out how he was showing how that Hollywood view us for the most part. He put out like videos or whatnot showing how they view us. You know,
You know when they
us
pointed
just
their,
only as entertainers and stuff like that.
you
You know
know,
what I mean?
you know when they pointed they target on Cosby.
What was that?
Cosby was talking to Oprah about a statement that he said about the adults failing the children. And she asked him to clarify the statement. And he said, we supposed to educate ourselves out of this condition. And the parents is not teaching the children nothing.
Facts.
Right? He said they're not giving them no home training. They letting them run around wild in the streets with no upbringing. Right? And so
around what year was this, OG?
It's an interview. I forgot what year it was, but it was when he had the big scandal for saying about black parents need to be parents.
Okay. What was you saying though? I didn't mean to cut you off.
We forget Cosby single-handedly put more people through HBCUs than anybody else in the history of the nation. That's NBC was the beginning. That's what made him kill Ennis, to stop him from buying NBC. And instead of stopping him from buying, it made him double down and go harder. But they told him the next was going to be Camille, then it was going to be him. They threatened to bury him in his driveway when they pumping the oil from his property. I think it was in Connecticut or somewhere. They found oil under his property, and they wanted the oil, and he wouldn't sign the permit to allow them to drill on his property. There's a whole lot of stuff going on with Cosby besides. And then when you go listen to the panel, you can tell they reading the script. Then they ad-lib. Then they go back to the script, then they ad-lib. Because they can't give them all the same script from end to end. They got to improv the middle of it so it'll sound believable. They have to infuse it with some kind of personal experience. Cosby was tricking with them girls. If you go back to, they had this famous club in New York. I think it was like Club 106 or something.
Okay.
Or Studio 104, I think is what it was called. And you look at the culture, that's what was going on in the 70s. It was the powder cocaine, it was Quaaludes, it was uppers and downers, it was barbiturates. Go back to Scarface when he told her her womb, she took so many Quaaludes, her womb is polluted and she can't make a baby. That was what the drug of choice was in Studio 54. That's right. So this was the culture back then. It's the same as right now. If an artist in the 80s was tricking with crackheads, giving them crack, and then all of a sudden they say he slipped a crack rock in their weed pipe.
Exactly. Okay.
Right.
That'll be something to the nature of right now, like the Molly and the Percocets and all that now.
Right. So that was a different drug era, a different drug of choice.
Right.
Like most of us ain't never heard of crystal THC. We don't know what that is. It's methamphetamine.
Yeah, you just put me hip with that. I ain't know that's what they call it.
Mm-hmm. But it used to be so few and far between that the people that found it was able to put a nice markup on it, and then they was able to cut it just like cocaine. It's crystal meth, crystal
Right.
THC.
Yeah, that crystal meth, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Punish you.
When the crack era came out, they started manufacturing it and they started calling it ice.
Exactly.
So our cultural memory of what changed in the culture allows a person to be victimized for something that was commonplace in a new era where it's not commonplace.
Run that back one more time, OG. What you say?
Okay, we're not paying attention to the cultural developments. In the 70s, what was commonplace is not commonplace in the 2000s.
Facts.
We have different drugs of choice. So by the people in the 2000s that's just not getting the information, it looked different than it did to the people in the era.
Okay.
And that's why
exactly. That make perfect sense.
why they can manipulate the history to make it whatever they want it to be.
Okay. They play on it just like that, huh? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Look, forget.
Go ahead, my bad.
We forget when Bill Cosby tried to buy NBC, they sold it for $1 billion cheaper to some Japanese to keep him from getting it.
Foul. They knew he was about to expose it. Or take it over.
Well,
and
you got to go back to why he
do.
was trying to buy it. You got to go back to why he said he was trying to buy it. Because at the time, Viacom is trying to acquire BET. And while Viacom is putting pressure on Bob Johnson for BET, Bill Cosby said we need a mainstream outlet where we can control the media and the information that our people was getting through media. And they didn't want that.
Big facts. That would have put a big hinder in what they had going on for all these years. That would have borderline stopped it for real.
Yeah. So somebody say MJ tried to buy Marvel. The reason he ended up not getting it is because he left Sony with over 50% of the company with controlling interest.
Yeah, I heard about that.
As a free agent. In the business world, they all said, don't do business with Michael Jackson. And it was enforced by the JDL. The JDL was the ones that was giving Mike the death threats the whole time. The same ones that was giving Biggie death threats and Tupac. Right? If you go back to Biggie Life After Death album, he got a phone call at the beginning of one of his songs. And they said, I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker, I'm gonna kill you. Yeah, and he was like, yo, you soft, dude, you soft.
Big fact.
He was reenacting the phone call he got from the Jewish Defense League.
Okay.
In Hollywood, they call them star whackers.
Hey, so look, you think that they get like the underground to do it, like the mob or something, and then just pay them off? Or you think they did one of their own?
They don't use one method.
Okay.
See, they try to paint a picture where most of them look like suicide.
Okay.
Like David Carradine. David Carradine he had become a Buddhist monk. And he was starting to be uncomfortable with the conditions of Hollywood that went against his moral fiber, and he was about to start speaking up, so they had to silence him.
Okay. Okay. His third eye was coming wide open anyway, being as to what he was into.
Well, he had been he Bruce Lee put him on his path with the David Carradine Kung Fu movie. That was supposed to have been the Bruce Lee story. Bruce Lee wrote the original pilot for that, and they
Oh man,
stole it from him. They stole it from him, and they hired David Carradine because they didn't want no goops in the movie.
Oh man, okay, you just put me hip right there.
Yeah. They've been doing this for a long time. Hollywood was created by the 32 Degree Scottish Rite Freemasonic Lodge. But if you don't know the history of Hollywood, you're not going to never know it. The first Hollywood parade is in black and white. They got a big double-head eagle from the 32 Degree Scottish Rite Freemason as the centerpiece. We overlook that because we don't know what the symbol means.
Running back, you say it's a double eagle head?
Yeah.
Okay. And is they under which would the Jesuits, or they right there
different order? They're a different
Okay.
order. All these are different orders, but they all secret societies. But
Okay.
the Pope is the be all, the end all until the emperors came.
Okay.
Because every secret society tied themselves together at the Vatican. All roads lead to Rome.
Is he a hybrid Draco, or he just regular? You know what I mean?
He a regular pale face, but what they do is they gotta send him through a lifetime of training to be the Pope.
Okay. Okay. What they say about 40 years, right?
No, the average Pope is like 60 something.
Okay. Okay.
And
So
that's probably how long they've been in the church, 40 years.
Okay.
But they normally ain't no popes young. They older than the presidents.
Right. Okay.
Because they only want them to live on average of 10 years.
And I heard you say something about you don't think the election going down this year. Like, I got my own little theory with that, but I want to hear, you know what I mean, from you, OG. Like, because I think because it's 8 this year, and the finale the Xfinity be number 9. Don't nothing go past that. So I figure like something really gonna set off next year for real. Or
Next
it might
year,
be the complete ending of they mess next year.
Trump already announced the national Mardi Gras that I was talking about. He called it the 250-year independence celebration. And he already announced the World Fair I was talking about in the same speech. And he said that it's going to be in either Iowa or Idaho. I forgot which state. But he announced that's where they're going to be revealing a lot of technology.
Okay.
That's been concealed from us. So in order for us to be ready for that, certain stuff got to get done like immediately.
Right.
You know, so I'm just watching. If everything moving like I think I'm seeing it, we shouldn't see no election this year. And the campaign trail proved that. You've never had this deep into a campaign without knowing who one of the candidates going to be. The Democrat Party is totally undecided.
Big facts, right?
Right. And you never had a presidential campaign trail that didn't start with at least 10 on each side.
Okay.
The Republicans started with 1 and the Democrat is still at 0. That's a binary code number for let the chief speak.
Okay. Hey, look, let me ask you this. Do you think any what role do the like do the Holy Bible and stuff like that? What role do the scriptures play at a time like this? You think they play a significant role, or what's your opinion on that, OG?
If you know how to read them, it's a star map that tell you when the stars is in a certain alignment, what to look for on the ground.
Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, all right then. Look, I gotta I appreciate you. Look, I would sit up here and ask you a bunch more questions. I gotta piss like a racehorse. We don't need the
It ain't
people.
no problem, man. I gotta take a couple more calls before I end anyway.
You already know I appreciate you, OG. Hey, sending out love to everybody, man. Peace to the gods. You already know.
Peace to the guys. All right, I'll catch you later.
Better.
If y'all sent some requests in and I didn't get you up, can you resend them? Because Instagram decided to kick all my requests out. So I don't know who waiting to come in. Look, a man on fire is a cold. Man on fire is a creasy bear. A creasy bear is a greasy bear. A greasy bear is a mechanic. And a mechanic is a grease monkey. And a grease monkey is one who work on cars. So it's code flipping. I just surprised that somebody wanted to flip a code bad enough to set themselves on fire, because I ain't trying to be froze like Tookie was, and I ain't trying to set myself on fire. So a man on ice become a soul on fire. It's a code. I don't know. He might have been a NPC, because he didn't look like he was having too much problem with going up in flames while he was burning. So if it's what I think it is, Crooked man walking on the land. Okay, so Instagram kicked all of my requests out, and nobody else's requests are coming in. I'm gonna give people a couple minutes to send another one, and then I'm gonna wrap this up because I'm getting a little fatigued now. He might have been a whole android, like Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg and Data from Star Trek, the same goddamn thing. That's why he don't age. I'm trying to, sweetie, but there's nothing in my request box. So Instagram kicked everybody out the request box because I know it was about 7 to 8 more people in there. Could have been a stunt man doing a stunt, but he sure didn't look like he was feeling no problem with that fire. Yeah, so I guess they figured I must have talked to enough people. Yeah, because I had requests in after I took the last guy up, and I go back to it, and the request is empty. Ryan Garcia just put hands on Haney. No, when I end this one, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna go call it a night. I'm trying to wait to see if they let anybody else put in a request before I go, but so far ain't no requests. Oh, Trump canceled a rally. That's big news. Trump don't cancel no rallies. He like publicity too much. Something up. And yesterday was the 19th. Today was the 20th. Going into the 21st now. Yeah, something up. So Well, the cloud seeding in Dubai is self-explanatory for those who understand heart. But this is all because they wrote about it in prophecy. All of those places, there is storms and earthquakes in diverse places. That's what they're talking about. So they use they use technology in order to make prophecy manifest in real time. Right. So technology is the tool used in order to bring about the manifestation of what was said was prophecy. I don't call it prophecy. I just call it a plan that they followed to the letter. Look, the bunkers. That ain't nothing new. They started building the bunkers back in the 90s, trying to get ready for the disaster known as Y2K that turned out to be what I told people, nothing. Right? So, they do have bunker buster bombs. People got to remember that. They got bunker busters. They used bunker busters to get at Hitler people in World War II. But we don't think they got more advanced, that they bombs can dig deeper before they explode than before. They got all of them people out of Switzerland. They had a whole fortress built under the Swiss mountains, right? A whole city built under the mountains so that they could try to hide. They ain't no hiding. They can go in all the bunkers they want. Guess what? They know where all the bunkers at. They watch them build them from satellites, right? So if they watching them build them, they know who built them. They know where they built them at, and they know what to do to get at anybody in them bunkers. So don't fall for all of the rich people building bunkers, because they not going to do them no good. Everything getting cleaned up in real time. It's just that we not aware of all of the activities that's taking place. Inbox me, Callie, and I could see what I could do for you, sweetie. Yeah, so they still got it where nobody can't request to come in. And it's 1:42, so I'm like an hour and 40 minutes into this anyway. So I'm gonna wrap this one up. But just remember, almost all of the stuff we see on TV is a script. It's all planned, and it's all about to turn over, right? Watch the chain reaction. People y'all not going to expect is going to fall behind Diddy, because ain't none of these suckers getting out of here without paying for their dirt. I don't care whether they're a Rockefeller. I don't care if they're a Rothschild. I don't care if they're a Clinton. I don't care if they're Bush. They all of these international bankers and this money mafias that's been controlling people with the economic hitmen. If once you understand how they work, all of the early outlaws, it's going to make sense, because we had big mama banks scattered all across the land. And in order to institute a central banking system, they first have to destabilize the current system so that they can impose their system under their conditions, whether you want them to or not. because your system is under continuous attack. It's going to leave only one system functional, theirs. All of those banks they was robbing was big mama banks. Go back and study the history of money in America. Tribes from different parts of the land had their own currency when the settlers came. This is why the money had started out with Eagleback and Chief Head and ended up with dead presidents, because it was the transfer of two systems. It was the old system. 0 is raised the matriarchy. 01 is let the chief speak. Yeah, I love Phase One. He just had me misunderstood, but that brother, that's my dude. And that's why I never let nobody make me or try to soup me up to talk bad about him, because he wasn't doing nothing that I didn't expect for him to do. 0 raised the matriarchy. 01 let the chief speak. Thomas Sowell, the truth. We got a lot of them. Before Thomas Sowell, we had C.L.R. James from, I think he was from Barbados or Trinidad. And he is the author of what we know today as communism. He the one who wrote the doctrine that was fed to the Europeans in the Bolshevik revolutions of Russia. It was a lot of his information trickled over and became the blueprint for what we call the Black Power movement, right? It's a book by Leon Trotsky, called Black, I think it's called Black Self-Determination by Leon Trotsky or something similar. But Leon Trotsky got ran out of Russia when Lenin died and Stalin took power. He put a hit on Trotsky. They killed Trotsky in Mexico. But Trotsky was a good friend to C.L.R. James, and he used to go visit him, and they would talk political strategies for a new system. Karl Marx and all of them stole data, information from the writings of C.L.R. James. Karl Marx information is old tribal doctrine. He just reworked it to infuse it with Roman influence so that they could use it under the patriarchal systems of domination. And this is why communism, under its current conditions, it don't last longer than 50 years. It got a 50-year shelf life before it becomes non-functional. What most of us don't know is that the United States bankrolled the Soviet Union from the Bolshevik Revolution to the fall of the wall. If you go back and you pull up what them books called, they got all the information in it, an almanac, and you look under each country in the almanac, you see every country how much money that America was using to bankroll them and their oppressive regimes. Yeah, from Trinidad. He was a thinker like us, like Sowell. Then you have a lot of extremism in perception to push the point across our people, like Claude Anderson, right? Dr. Claude Anderson is focused on the economic uplift of people. And you got another brother, I think his name is, it's either Randall Robinson or Richard Robinson, wrote The Debt, What America Owe Black America. And he's talking about the economic stability of a people as well. But what we don't know, that if we take our stuff. There's nobody to give us reparations because all of the financial illusions crumble because they don't have the right to our mineral wealth into the land. But as long as we don't know it, then they assert a jurisdiction over the nationals. They don't have jurisdictions over the sovereigns, only the nationals. Only if you have a nationality do the corporation have jurisdictional supremacy to your claim of right. If you're standing in the position in your sovereign capacity, then your sovereign capacity is higher than your national status. So as a sovereign, you get to dictate how nationals are dealt with on your sovereign land, and you're exercising your sovereign right. Yeah, Randall Robinson to that. What America owed to blacks. Yeah. So we have the information to uplift ourselves. We got Blueprint for Black Power by Amos N. Wilson, right? We got other people that's talking about education. Amos Wilson is a clinical psychiatrist, psychologist, and he wrote the Awakening the Natural Genius of the Black Child, the psychological development of the Black child. Then you have Haki Madhubuti, right? The conspiracy to destroy black boys. And you got Nathan and Julia Hare, R.I.P. brother Nathan. But Julia Hare is still pushing the education from miseducation to education with the books and the work that her and her husband been doing for years in our community. One of the things about us is we only want to take the people who we like and discard the rest, but they all come in with pieces to put the puzzle back together. And if you start disregarding some because you don't like them, you cut out a major portion of the tools you need to build. Neely Fuller wrote you the defense manual to the Conjure War. It's a chess game played out in the human arena using people as the pieces. And the breaking the chains of white supremacy is overcoming the free white persons in law attack on those priesthoods known as the black priests or the stealthy priests, that those old Mississippians, the Black Wolf Clan, the Black Bear Clan, the Black Hawk Clan, the Black Eagle Clan, the Black Gorilla Clan. All of these is root tribal totems, right? And they were the ones who took up the defensive position, but nobody had written a comprehensive manual to fight this doctrine known as white supremacy, aka the Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion, in conjunction with the Morals and Dogma of Albert Pike, that got us in this condition after the George Washington Challenge and the Constitution that was written in the blood of Crispus Attucks in order to subjugate us for 200 years. We won, they lost, they butt sore, and we ain't giving two shits. And that's just how it is. Yeah, he was Bobby E. Wright, Psychopathic Racial Personality. If you want to understand the psychological makeup of your enemy, get Bobby E. Wright, Psychopathic Racial Personality, and then read The Iceman Inheritance. When you put the two together, then you got a good understanding of how come these people couldn't overcome no gods. You can't overcome no god and you a cave dweller and the guys are Skywalkers. Unless you got some Skywalkers that's supporting your fight and putting you in positions of power so that those Skywalkers can look untouchable. You can't find them. They hid in Switzerland, under mountains, in caves, living their life, living their best life. While they got their cronies over here watching us suffer up close and personal. Right? So it's all there. They all gave some. I just put it all together and told y'all what I see from a different angle of looking at the problem. So I hope I was able to give y'all some valuable information in these last 4 hours. But as of now, I'm done. I'm pooped. I'm out. Right? So let the chief speak, raise the matriarchs, and we're gonna make it do what it do. I'll be on Brother Sonetter sometime tomorrow evening. I'm not sure the time. He gonna let me know in the morning. So Sonetter TV, I think is what it's called on YouTube. All right, since they won't let nobody else request to join, I'm gonna wrap it up now. 219 viewers. So peace out.